Hey, yo, hey, I'm an addict named Austin. I got clean here at Serenity House in Abilene, Texas on October 19th, 2014. Let's read the just for today. May 22nd, symptoms of a spiritual awakening. The steps lead to an awakening of a spiritual nature. This awakening is evidenced by changes in our lives. We know how to recognize the disease of addiction. Its symptoms are indisputable. Besides an uncontrollable appetite for drugs, those suffering exhibit self-centered, self-seeking behavior. When our addiction was at its peak of activity, we were obviously in a great deal of pain. We relentlessly judged ourselves and others and spent most of our time worrying or trying to control outcomes. Just as the disease of addiction is evidenced by definite symptoms, so is a spiritual awakening made manifest by certain obvious signs in a recovering addict. We may observe a tendency to think and act spontaneously, a loss of interest in judging or interpreting the actions of anyone else, and an unmistakable ability to enjoy each moment and frequent attacks of smiling. If we see someone exhibiting symptoms of a spiritual awakening, we should be aware that such awakenings are contagious. Our best course of action is to get close to these people. As we begin having frequent, overwhelming episodes of gratitude, an increased receptiveness to the love extended by our fellow members, and an uncontrollable urge to return this love, we'll realize that we too have had a spiritual awakening. Just for today, my strongest desire is to have a spiritual awakening. I will watch for its symptoms and rejoice when I discover them. Oh, that's hot. I'm grateful for this reading because I don't know about you, but when I hear spiritual awakening, I think of the clouds parting and God coming down and speaking to me directly, which is, not necessarily something I had when I was using, not with God anyways. And so it was like I was just, my biggest problem is that I'd had some spiritual experiences and I was a believer, but what I didn't believe is that he was going to part the clouds and come down and take the needle out of my arm, right? And so I like this readings. I like the way it puts it in layman's terms, because when I think of a spiritual awakening, I think of this big moment when sometimes a spiritual awakening is just that I didn't use drugs today, right? In the beginning, I didn't use drugs all day today. I was happy. I was able to help people. I was able to be redirected. I was able to receive. I was open-minded, willing, and honest, right? Those can be signs of a spiritual awakening. So that's hopeful, because I'll think of all of these things when really it can be really simple. In the beginning for me, it was I just didn't use drugs today. And then a little bit further, I didn't hurt anybody today. I wasn't selfish or self-seeking for the day, right? And so I'm really grateful for this reading. It puts it in really clear. It doesn't have to be this big thing. It can be something positive and good. It says we may observe a tendency to think and act spontaneously, a loss of interest in judging or interpreting the actions of anyone else. The disease of addiction can be evident in my life without me ever using drugs, right? And judging other people was one of those things that I would let take up a lot of space in my head when I had no right reason and it wasn't even positive. And so I like to share this a lot. One of the things that I've learned in recovery is that I can wake up and do all the things I need to be doing for recovery, right? I can pray and meditate, I can read, I can listen to some music to get me in that space, and I just want more, right? I can be doing step work and I just want to keep doing it because of the freedom and the stuff that comes with it, right? And it's still a never ending. I always want to feel more, but being plugged into other people, being a part of somebody else's process, being a part of a conversation, a lecture, doing a fifth step, anytime that I'm able to get out of myself and be a part of somebody else's recovery, I realize that I forgot about that thing that I'm trying to feel because I was involved in somebody else's recovery. And so that's one of the biggest spiritual awakenings for me, is that I don't always have to be trying to make myself better or do more. I don't have to be selfish and self-seeking. There's times when I can pour into other people or listen to other people, and those are signs of a spiritual awakening. I'm really grateful for this program, and it has changed my whole man, I was that selfish, self-seeking person, right? Even whenever I was doing good for others, it was for my reward. And so today I can be a part of other people's journey, and it's not about me. And so that's a pretty big deal. It's this disease is the obsession and compulsion and the selfishness, right? And I can be locked and loaded, and it can all be for the benefit, of myself, even if it's good, right? I am, man, I'm so grateful to be aware of this today. And some days I get to be free from this disease. And so that's the goal here, right? Thank y'all for tuning in today. I hope you have a good day. I hope you're able to help others and be happy, right? So we will talk to you tomorrow. Have a good day.